Democratic Congressman Brad Sherman of California. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. First, your reaction to that story.
It just shows incredible naivete, a gullibility that's almost intentional. It also demonstrates that the Trump campaign was anxious to get help from a Russian-connected attorney, a Russian government-connected attorney, about Hillary Clinton. So they revealed an interest in colluding, whether or not they colluded in that particular meeting.
So you're an attorney, and you're also a politician who's been in Congress a long time. All campaigns, most good campaigns, do opposition research, okay? And that is what Donald Trump Jr. is pointing to this morning in his tweet. I mean, he says, obviously, I'm the first person on a campaign to ever take a meeting to hear info about an opponent, went nowhere, but had to listen. Where's the illegality here in your mind? Is there illegality in your mind?
If the meeting is exactly as Donald Trump Jr. has told us, I don't see illegality in this particular meeting, but it raises suspicions. First, the Trump campaign benefits from a burglary, and then they have a meeting with someone who's almost an attorney for the burglars. That doesn't prove that they were colluding in the cyber burglary.
Here's the thing.
But it gets you one step closer.
Here's the thing. The timeline here, just so you know, the DNC hack didn't become clear till after this meeting here. So that's what you're referring to with burglary. But that happened after this meeting happened, before all that information became public.
Well, what the Russian government learned from this meeting was that the Trump campaign was anxious to get information, even from the Russian government, about Hillary Clinton. Whether they later provided that information and colluded as to how it would be used, that's what Mueller is investigating. So we don't have proof of collusion, but we do have more smoke and more reason for an investigation.
So you, Congressman, have been one of the loudest voices to call for a moving forward of impeachment proceedings against the president, so much so that even some of your fellow Democrats have called you out on it, have said, look, you're putting the carriage in front of the horse here. Be careful with this one. You've talked about, and your team put out a press release in February saying, is this Watergate 2.0? You're pointing to what you believe is obstruction of justice. Does this change the calculus at all for you?
This is slightly different than the articles of impeachment I have drafted. Mine focus on obstruction of justice. We saw James Comey's sworn and credible and convincing testimony. He lays out the facts, and when you look at those facts, they fit very closely with the obstruction of justice statute, section 1512b3. So I think, and Trump's tweets indicate that he believes that James Comey told the truth, and I believe he told the truth because I was there listening to him, and he was speaking under oath. Those facts indicate that Donald Trump tried to use threats to stop an investigation, an important criminal investigation. I think that is a high crime and misdemeanor. And when you combine that with the fact that this is just an incompetent presidency that I think poses a danger to our country, day after day something else comes up. The latest being this idea of a cybersecurity unit with Vladimir Putin. I mean, that's like the Bonnie and Clyde bank security system. It's crazy, and it's just one crazy thing after the other, combined with a legally sufficient high crime and misdemeanor.
And that's obstruction. That's where your articles or where your submission deals with right there. And I'm bringing this up only because you brought up James Comey. The Hill reported overnight that the memos written by James Comey, some of them had information on it which was classified. Now, we don't know if any of those ever even left the FBI or his possession. We know that some information was handed to a Columbia University professor. Do you have concerns based on this reporting about the FBI director, that those memos could contain classified information?
Well, I think memos in the files of the FBI director contain classified information, but the information he made public was not classified in any way, but instead relate to the threats that were made against him. Here was a man who wanted to keep his job.
But
Yes.
Congressman, remember, he's the one who said that Hillary Clinton's handling of classified information was, quote, extremely careless. And the question now becomes, does it not? Even if none of that classified information were in the memo that he handed over to his friend at Columbia, which he testified had no classified information in it, what about the handling of it? When he took these notes, was it on a secure laptop? Was it on a notepad? How did he maintain those documents? Did he take them out of the Bureau? Did he take them home? Do you have questions as they pertain to the security of the information?
I have no questions at all. I've got no reason to think that the FBI director mishandled information. You can raise questions about anything, but to say that there's classified information properly in the files at the FBI headquarters is not to say anything at all.
All right, important distinctions there. Congressman Brad Sherman, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.